We're here in Johannesburg, South Africa, with our buddy here, Nico Abella, feature of the month for April. We're just gonna have him talk a little bit about how he got into the aviation industry. As you can see, we've got this tower in the background and the city of Johannesburg and FNB Stadium where the 2010 World Cup was. So, anyway, Nico, how did you get started in aviation?
Well, I was doing retail before, and I don't know, I just figured that it was just, I've never been in my whole life somebody who's a 9-to-5 person, in the sense where you get up, you go in this an entrap in an area. So I applied for Frontier Airlines, and I was a customer service agent. Started working with them, and I don't know, it got to a point where doing everything, you know, the ramp, check-in, at the gates, all that stuff. And I was doing everything except maybe being on the plane. So after quitting Frontier, I eventually went to American Airlines, flight attendant for American Airlines. And up until, you know, I don't know, last month, I did everything to an aircraft except, not last month, last year, sorry. I did everything with an aircraft except flying it. And really the end goal is to, you know, probably work commercial, you know, if not, you know, we'll do some, you know, private stuff. But
So you want to be a pilot?
Oh yeah, definitely. You know, I mean, you have to have dreams. And if you have dreams and you don't try to make the dreams a reality, then, you know, I mean, I don't want to say you're a failure, but you didn't really maximize your potential. You have to at least try.
Absolutely.
You know? Yeah.
Absolutely.
So, you know, I'm trying right now.
Gotcha. Are you planning on doing anything in the YouTube game, like starting your own channel or anything like that?
Yeah, I mean, I've been toying with the idea. A lot of people have suggested that I should, because I do a lot of traveling myself, like in my own time. I've been to a lot of countries, and I really get involved in social activities. I don't just go to stay in a hotel and, you know, wonder how this $200 hotel is and all that stuff. I don't do that. For example, I'm here in South Africa, and I have not seen a hotel, not by choice. I mean, I was gonna get one, but Joseph, a good friend, you know, he's the Fly Zulu guy. You guys need to check that too. And you know, a really good brother. You know, very hospitable. Showed us a different reality. You know, I've always considered myself an African. You know, and so we're feeling a different side. And it's not just Africa. Everywhere I've been, I always try to diverse myself into the people, you know?
Right.
And speaking of influencing people, I do believe that I have influential qualities. And even in my native Jamaica, I think that I'm a very motivational person for a lot of young people, because a lot of people a lot of times ask me about how do I get started. A lot of young kids in school, parents and all that kind of stuff. And that's why I have to try, because if I decide not to, I think I'm letting a lot of people down, because I can tell you right now, I have thousands of fans who are willing me to get to the final hurdle, you know, so we'll see what happens though.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
You're originally from Jamaica, right?
Yes, I am.
Gotcha. And how's the aviation industry out there?
Well, to be honest with you, when I was born there, and in my time there was Air Jamaica, which was a staple. But I don't want to be a politician, so I don't want to say anything about politics. But for some reason or the other, it got sold out. The government there likes to sell everything out that the state owns, privatize it. And it's not even to Jamaicans. But anyways, that airline got sold out to Trinidad, and it became something else. It's not Air Jamaica anymore. I think it's Fly Jamaica or something. But
yeah.
Jamaican airline that's not from Jamaica. That's
Gotcha.
all there is. There isn't really an airline company, a private airline company. I've heard rumors that a pilot or something has one, but it's a 757. But it also has ties with Guyana. Now, I don't know how truthful that is, so please don't quote me on that. But as for Jamaica having its own airline thing, I don't think that is so, you know, which is a shame. But the government wouldn't be able to sustain it because they have a lot of problems.
Right, gotcha. Does the ability to speak multiple languages help you in your aviation career? I mean, how many languages do you speak?
Well, fluently, I speak English, which is understandable here, and fluently I speak Italian. I also, even though I wouldn't admit it, I know Spanish. I'm not as fluent in Spanish as English or Italian, but it's so similar to Italian, so I can help myself very well actually. I could probably read in French, but I wouldn't be able to have great conversations. But you know, because they're Latin languages, I can figure it out. As for if it has helped me, yeah, because this last job, American Airlines, I was hired because I was an Italian speaker. And it enabled me to see many international destinations because I was hired at a time when American had separate, it had two factors. It had a domestic operation and it had an international operation. Because of the language, I was lucky enough to immediately went to international operation despite my very junior position. And in my first 2-3 years, I've seen a lot of international destinations.
Awesome. What's the greatest place you've ever seen in the world, and what would you suggest to our youth out here that are trying to pursue a career somewhere in the aviation industry, whether it be pilots, flight attendants, or ground personnel, or
This destination, the thing is, in my real life, I'm not a diplomat. I'm very straight to the point. But in front of an audience, I tend to be a little bit more diplomatic. And I think I really can't say. I don't want to say Africa because I really haven't seen anything yet. I'm only in Johannesburg, but there's a love, a genuine love. I feel like I've been to Japan. I love Japan. It's probably one of my favorite, if not my favorite. But the difference between like a Japan and an Africa, as a black man, I feel an umbilical cord connection with this continent than any other continent that I've ever been to, despite only being here a very short time.
Absolutely.
So I still haven't discovered anything, but there's an inner love for Africa right now. In terms of like exploration and stuff like that, I really like Japan.
What would you suggest to any of the youth out there that are trying to get into, pretty much any of those positions in the aviation industry? What do you recommend on getting started?
Okay, well, if you want to be a pilot, I would recommend that you have a bachelor's degree. It doesn't have to be aviation. A lot of people have this notion that they have to study aviation to be a pilot. Yes and no. Yes, because you still, after you have the bachelor's degree, you're going to have to do some flight sims and all that kind of stuff. It's very intense. You have to study. But in order to be a commercial hired pilot, you have to have a degree. And it doesn't matter what the degree is in. It could be business. It could be, psychology, whatever. But you have to, it's better for you because they're not going to hire you if you don't have a degree. So yeah, you guys out there who are aspiring, go to school, and stay there, and just get your education, and then that's where you start.
All right, thanks, Nico.
There you go.
All right.